You shot a 14-year-old child in the back after incorrectly assuming he stole a bottle of water worth at most $1.
His life was worth less than 4 bottles of water.
How much is a life worth? And if I personally had to put a number on it, I would dang sure say it's worth more than a bottle of water.
The devil shot him dead, and he laid right there.
Rick Chow, middle-aged Asian man who falsely accused a 14-year-old boy for stealing a water bottle at his gas station and then killed him for that false accusation.
That was a boy. That was a baby. That was somebody's child. That was somebody's son.
They told him it was policy for people to leave the backpack at the front of the store. He did that. He started shopping. They followed him. Before he left, they accused him of stealing 4 water bottles. He flattened out his jacket pockets and pant pockets to show them that he did not have any water bottles. As he tried to leave, they chased him over 100 yards.
You're telling me you chased somebody 150 yards with a pistol and you don't know if they're running away from you or not?
And fatally shot him. This is the protest. Young man who was 14 years old. Rest in peace, Cyrus.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chi Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
So a young black man's life has ended just like that. No justice, no compensation for his family, nothing offered to the black American community that has been broken by this. Yes, this incident was sudden, but what does it really mean? What are we actually saying? Many fights have been fought, many videos have been made, many declarations have been issued, yet the stereotyping continues. Black families are still forbidden from living in certain neighborhoods. Black Americans still face discrimination at every turn. When will we see the day when black, brown, and white communities live together in harmony? When will we see the white American standing up and speaking against the injustice inflicted on poor people, inflicted on people of color? When will people stop associating black neighborhoods with crimes? When will people stop seeing shop owners following black customers, assuming they are going to steal? These are not rhetorical questions. These are urgent demands for change. These are urgent demands for justice. These are urgent demands for a community where black, brown, Latinos, white will live in harmony in their beautiful country, America. Now, I want us to watch these clips of black Americans, brothers and sisters. Listen to what they are saying, hear them. After you've heard their voices, I will return with deeper insights into what we are witnessing and what we must do. If you are enjoying this one, don't forget to support us by clicking on the like button.
The United States justice system proved to all American citizens that once again, that the system is only beneficial to everybody except black Americans, black people, black migrants. It serves its purpose for everybody except black people.
It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free.
What I do know is there's been no evidence presented that he actually stole any water. I think it's clear he didn't, but they chased him out of the store because they assumed he did. Mind you, according to the evidence, the mama, the daddy, and the son all ran after him. So at this point, they left the store unattended, all 3 adults, to chase a 14-year-old boy who did not even steal anything.
I will still walk into the retail store, the corner store, the gas station. Still try not to have my hood up because I don't want you to judge something. I will walk into these stores and I will wave to the nigga at the front desk and make sure he see me because I don't want you to assume that I'm stealing from you. I will walk into the CVS. I will put down the bag because I don't want to hear your mouth right now and the assumption that I'm gonna steal from you. And then I'll walk around my crib and have a cop come up to me and be like, you got to move around because I don't think you live here. And I sit right downstairs because you assume that I'm criminal or that I'm at a place I'm not supposed to be because I'm a young black nigga. And that's exactly word for word, bar for bar, no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it, what happened in this case. The only difference is this time it wasn't let me pick up my bag and leave and go home and eat my Skittles. It was let me pick up my bag and leave and, oh, I got shot in the back. That's literally the only difference. That's the only difference.
Yep.
You niggas don't hear what we're saying to you.
You not hearing.
It could be one of the 4 niggas on the couch at any moment. Because it's not about rationality, right, wrong, the best practices. It's about what's acceptable to assume about people based on the color of their skin.
I feel like this is a karmic thing, right? Until our race of people learn to separate, it's gonna keep happening. It sounds fucked up, but that's the truth, bro. Until we learn to, like, separate, it's gonna keep happening. And nobody's gonna feel bad for you. Nobody's gonna care. The world does not care. They see black suffering as some type of rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looks down on black people, and that's just the propaganda that white men spread throughout the world. Until we learn to, like, separate, it's gonna keep happening. And nobody's gonna feel bad for you. Nobody's gonna care. The world does not care. They see black suffering as some type of rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looks down on black people, and that's just the propaganda that white men spread throughout the world.
I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair, and if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice.
You shoot a kid straight in their back after chasing them for 130 yards and somehow get found not guilty?
Cyrus was just 14 years old. He bled out on the pavement outside the gas station. The trial took 5 days and the jury deliberated for 8 hours. They asked the judge to clarify the legal instruction multiple times during the deliberation. One of the prosecutors told them during the closing arguments, "This is what malice looks like. A shot to the back tells the story better than any witness ever could." Then the jury came back not guilty. I don't have anything clever to say about that. A child is dead. He was just 14 years old. He didn't steal anything. He shot him in the back during a 130-yard chase. And a jury looked at all the evidence and decided that nothing about that warranted a murder conviction. Cyrus's father, Troy Belton, sat in the courtroom and listened to the verdict be read. The family's attorney, Todd Rutherford, spoke outside the courtroom with Troy standing next to him. Troy didn't address the cameras. Rutherford said the anger is palpable tonight. You can feel it. You can touch it. He asked the people watching to let anger live in words, in conversations, in what we say and what we write, not in anything else. See, I don't want to use Cyrus as a symbol. He's not a teaching moment. He was a child, okay? He had a father in that courtroom yesterday. He had a cousin who said she stayed silent for 3 years carrying his death. He had people who loved him. He has people who love him. A 14-year-old black boy was shot in the back over water that he did not take. There was video of him not taking it. The jury saw the video and they still acquitted that man anyway. If you're black and you're watching this, I know. Me too. There's nothing we can say to make this land any softer. The sad truth is that we've seen this before, and we'll probably see it again.
There's no difference. A 15-year-old girl with money in her hand gets accused of stealing an orange juice worth $1.75, gets into an altercation, and is shot in her back. Later found that she had money in her hand the whole time to pay for the item. This man chased 14-year-old Cyrus Cameron down 100 yards and shot him in the back with a .45 caliber gun. Both of these people get to walk free after taking a child's life, a black child's life. Neither of these children did anything wrong, but their lives were taken just because of the color of their skin, because they never would have done that to a white person. It would have never happened. Because they're black, they're automatically deemed as fucking criminals. And you can blame the white system of America for this shit. White people have embedded hate on the color of our skin for so long that our children die for no reason. They have convinced people that look like this in this country that we are dangerous. They've brainwashed people like this to think that we are dangerous. And all the while, the dangerous person in this country is the one making all the rules and setting all the goddamn standards. Cyrus Belton's family's lawyer is asking for the community to remain calm. I ain't saying that shit.
And like I said, he claimed self-defense. It was not self-defense. Cyrus did not do anything. As he was running, he was dropping his stuff because, of course, he was running away because he didn't want to get murdered. But it was too late. And I watched a video of his mother talking about the case, and just seeing her cry and just seeing her grieve, it was too much. It was too much. I don't get why the world views black people as these aggressive thugs who are uneducated, violent. I really don't get it. Cyrus was 14 years old. This happened 3 years ago. If he was alive, he'd be 17. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how black people simply existing is just a bother for so many people. It's not just, the white community, because other races don't even like black people. Other races, like Asians, not all Asian people, obviously, but like to align with white supremacy.
This is America in 2026. Nobody should be surprised at this point. My only thing for black folks is that we finally have to wake up. Us going outside protesting ain't gonna do shit. Us hopping online crying ain't gonna do shit. But you know what will? Withholding the black dollar. Stop spending money with these people who clearly show us time and time again that they do not like us. And I get it. It's hard because as black people, we really don't own too many things in America. But we can change that. We got internet now. We can go online. We can shop around. Bro, something gotta give. Because in 2026, you can murder a black boy and walk free. We just seen it happen. This happened, 14 years ago? I remember Trayvon Martin when I was 10 years old, dog. When I was 10, he walked away. They killed him. And the same thing we see it happen again, bro. What gonna change? We gonna be mad for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks and then shit gonna go back to normal. People gonna be still buying Chinese food, going to the gas stations, messing with all these non-black people.
I think a young black teenager walked into the store wearing a backpack and they told him to take it off and he complied. I didn't tell you that earlier. They told him to take his backpack off and he said yes. And I think right off the bat, they were already suspicious. They were paying close attention to him. So he goes over to the waters, he touches them, he maneuvers them around, but he leaves and he doesn't buy anything. They see a bulge in his hoodie and they convince themselves that it's a bottle of water. Now, maybe that's because they deal with shoplifters all the time. Maybe racial bias plays a role. I don't know. I'm not in their heads, but I do think they convinced themselves that he stole something when he didn't. As a matter of fact, it's more likely that whatever that bulge was, if that was the weapon, whatever, it was there when he walked into the store. So they go after him. Cyrus, the 14-year-old, notices they're following and then he takes off running. Now, could Cyrus have stopped running? Sure. But remember, Cyrus had a gun on him, a gun he wasn't supposed to have. He was 14 years old. Personally, I think that's the reason he ran. I think he knew he wasn't supposed to have that gun. He didn't want to get caught with it. So now you have a teenager running as fast as he can, trying to get away. At some point, he runs, he trips, he falls, the gun comes out, and I think this is where it goes wrong. Like, I do think that Andy Chow, the son of the Chows, saw the gun and said, "Dad, he's got a gun." And I think Rick Chow heard that and panicked and shot Cyrus. I think he assumed his son was in danger and fired the gun. The issue, though, is that in trying to protect his son, he killed somebody else's son. He killed Cyrus. Now, obviously, the defense sees things differently, and I want to present their side as well, because their argument is that Cyrus actually pointed the gun at Andy, and therefore Rick, the dad, was defending his son and is not guilty of murder. We'll cover that in the next video.
They decided that this man was not guilty. Not guilty. On May 28, 2023, Rick Chow and his son falsely accused 14-year-old Black American Cyrus CARMACK-BELTON of stealing water bottles from their Shell gas station in South Carolina. Cyrus CARMACK-BELTON, 14-year-old teenage Black American boy, did not steal. He did not steal. He did not steal. Mr. Chow, however, and his son, convinced that Cyrus stole these water bottles, proceeded to chase this boy out of the store. They chased him. After Mr. Chow and his son chase Cyrus for over 100 yards, Mr. Chow then proceeds to pull out a .45 Glock caliber and shoot Cyrus in the back, killing him. Footage then captured from surveillance shows that Cyrus never stole anything. He never took any bottles. He never took anything. And yet, a jury took 8 hours to deliberate, even with the evidence. Even with the evidence, they took 8 hours to deliberate, and they came out with the verdict that Mr. Chow was not guilty, that he was not guilty. Cyrus didn't steal anything. Cyrus didn't do anything wrong. He didn't commit any crime. He was chased, and then he was hunted down, and then he was shot in the back and killed. And they say that this man is not guilty. Y'all remember Latasha Harlan? 15-year-old girl killed by a Korean street corner store owner. Why? Because the store owner accused her of trying to steal a $1.79 bottle of orange juice. The owner falsely accused her and then took out a gun and used that to take Latasha's life. An honor roll student who wanted to become a lawyer, who did not steal, took her life because she was black. It was because she was black. And Mr. Chow took Cyrus's life because he was black. And in this government, they allow for the lives of black people to be claimed for any reason, under any justification, and they will always pardon the murderer. In 1991, with Latasha, at least they found the murderer guilty. They found the murderer guilty. Don't get me wrong. They gave her a slap on the wrist, right? They gave her 5 years probation, 400 hours of community service, and she was required to pay the funeral expenses of Latasha. But at least she was guilty. In 2026, we don't even get that. We don't even get that. Mr. Chow is able to now leave prison. He is acquitted with a non-guilty charge, with a non-guilty verdict for claiming the 14-year-old life of a black American boy, Cyrus CARMACK-BELTON. Fuck the United States of America. This is why I keep preaching to the black Americans, to the black migrants, to the African Americans, to the Caribbean blacks. Please let us unify, because they want us dead. They want us dead. You see all of these laws that are going backwards. In 1991, somebody was found guilty for killing us for no reason. In 2026, that person is now not guilty. We don't have any protection in this world. We can only protect each other. It's time for us to become unified. Truly, because it's about to get real crazy. It's about to get real crazy.
My father's father's father, my father, and me have had to be subjected to the whims, fantasies, and fears of a large demographic of the United States, in both marginalized communities and white communities. I am told that we live in the greatest country on earth because we can do anything we want, except sell loose cigarettes, or play with a toy gun, or look at a house that's already open and everybody else looks at it, or has Skittles and Arizona iced tea, or have a past and passing a fake $20 bill, or play video games in your house, or go to your own house and have somebody else break into it. So maybe it is time for us to have a conversation about the dreaded S word. Segregation. I just stitched a video with a man that says, I don't hate black people, but I'm afraid of the demographic. And I said, maybe we should make sure that the demographic no longer shops there. I think it may very well be time for black folks to come up with a new green book. Places we can go that we are welcomed and treated with dignity, and places that we can't. From the furthest tip of the United States all the way to Hawaii. Maybe it is time for us to have a new Green Book. If you are in this city, in this state, don't shop here because the shop owner, an Asian American, is afraid of you. If you are in this county, in this city, in this state, don't shop at these places because they mistreat you and they have racist tendencies. Maybe it is time for us to start charging for usage of anything that we do, from rap music to basketball. Maybe fuck you, pay me should be our mentality from now on. Maybe we should stop giving our labor for free. Because see, if the larger demographics outside of African Americans don't want to act right, then maybe we should force them to. I do not say this lightly. And I do not say it, once again, with any malice in my heart. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. I'm tired of being afraid for myself, my family members, my siblings, my kids, and my grandkids. I'm quite tired of it. I am tired of wondering whether or not I walk into a shop, am I looked at as a customer or a criminal? So maybe we should have a nice little green book that tells us where we should shop and shouldn't. The places we should go and the places we shouldn't. I am promoting the idea of an economic riot. Not tearing that building down, just ignoring it like it doesn't exist. Until America starts to get the hint. You don't get to mistreat us and expect us to then give you our labor, our money, our time, our energy, our talents. No. The next time Forgiato Blow opens his mouth, we should sue him for making rap music. You don't respect it. Why are you making it? Maybe we should stop you.
I think it is time to have a very deep talk with our brothers and sisters, the Chow family. And no, this has less to do with their names being Chow, both of them, and more to do with that they're Asian. So let's talk about it. If you don't recognize the people up here, this is the Chow family from the movie Sinners that Ryan Coogler directed, and he might be a goddamn psychic. So in the movie Sinners, what Ryan Coogler was trying to portray was that how Asian Americans fit into the system of capitalism in America and like the racial hierarchy. Whilst they were put above black people, they also acted as a wedge. So the Chows in Sinners, they own two convenience stores, one on the black side, one on the white side. On the white side is where Miss Chow works. Miss Chow is the skeptical, she is suspicious, and she is finicky. Whilst in the black neighborhood, Mr. Chow, he is communal, cool, and relaxed. But when they switch, they both switch, kind of personalities. Once in the white neighborhood, they are able to operate based off of assimilation and respectability politics. Whilst in the black neighborhood, they operate based off of a surveillance system and becoming an enforcer of the system to enjoy the racial hierarchy that they've been allotted, I guess. What Ryan Coogler was really showing was that this is historical. This isn't brand new. This is historical. This is how Asian Americans have been able to become a successful business model in America. And that's what you end up seeing in our neighborhoods. You see the Chinese restaurants, you see the beauty supply stores, and you also see the convenience stores in our most impoverished food deserts. Now let's talk about this Chow family. They own a convenience store in Columbia, South Carolina, where there are limited options for grocery stores, damn near a food desert. Very black populace. The only reason they're successful is because of the black dollar. But the only reason they were allowed to build a business is because they would become a black surveillance unit. Immigrants don't see how they've been used as a tool and as a wedge between the marginalized groups a lot of the times. What's interesting is that they build a wall of shame in it, like most Asian American businesses. So you go to a beauty supply store, there's a wall of shame. These people aren't allowed to shop here. It'd be 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, people pushing baby carts. They stole a pack of $5 hair. $5 hair. And they got them pictures posted up everywhere. A wall of shame. You built a convenient, mind you, this is also the Chow family. They have a wall of shame in their convenience store. You built a wall of shame of who cannot shop here whilst being in a poor black neighborhood that has limited options, whilst only being successful based on the black dollar. Then you're going to chase a teenage boy, not even really a teenager if you ask me, who 14 years old, you're not even a freshman. Is he about to go be a freshman in high school? A 8th grader, a fresh out of middle school 8th grader, and you shot him in his back with one shoe on while he had one shoe on. Yeah, I'm sorry. And Cyrus is just like Tamir. He's just like Emmett, and he's just like Trayvon. Being shot for being a young black boy. Boy. The word is boy, not man. That's not a man. That's a young boy. Anybody could see clear as day that that's a young boy, period. Like, look at black beauty supply stores. Black beauty, it is impossible for a black person to own a black beauty supply store because it is damn near, what's the word, being protected by the Korean manufacturers. When black women try to reach out to the Korean manufacturers to create black businesses based like black beauty supply businesses, they're locked out at a certain level. They have to pay insane prices that most Asian families, most Korean families do not have to pay when starting these businesses. Not only that, black women have a hard time getting permits and getting the ability to open and buy businesses. So when you compound those two things, that they're selling us our culture, selling us our products, selling us our hair, our style, following us in the store, and then knowing that we're discriminated against, so we're not going to be able to open the businesses, so they decide to open the business, and then we spend as black women $7.5 billion on the beauty hair supply store. That none of that's going back to black businesses, black families, black wealth. That is going straight to the Asian community. It's going back home. Like, that's the thing I always think about, because again, like, there's over 10,000 beauty supply stores. There's only 300 of them owned by black women. Let's compound that. Like, not only do they realize that black people aren't able to get loans, they aren't able to get permits, they aren't able to get approved to buy businesses, they decide to capitalize on that instead of capitalize on their own people, which is so malicious, which brings me into Patrick Ta. Patrick Ta admired a black woman's blush work. That's like the best way I'll put it. Her work as a makeup artist, right? After the industry had told us that they weren't going to give us more shades, that they didn't know how to make black shades, they weren't going to make cute blushes for us, they weren't going to make lip liners for us, they weren't going to make lipsticks for us, they weren't going to make lip glosses for us, right? After all of that, Esther's like, no, bitch, I got a beautiful blush for my dark skinned beauties. And when I tell you that shit is good, that shit is good. Esther, hit me up. And it's pretty. But instead of collabing with Esther, instead of trying to get Esther's, product maybe with your company and have a combined product to make a combined profit, you steal her idea, you commercialize it, and then sell it in Sephora, knowing that it's easier for you to get those types of deals than it is for Esther. Mind you, there is a reason and a passion behind she created transitional blushes. There's a reason and passion behind it, which is that dark-skinned women weren't getting anything. We don't get anything at the fucking... Like, Patrick Ta, I'm not gonna lie, I walk by your shit. Every time I see them, I walk by it. Patrick Star... I love me some one size. Okay, I'm sorry. The thing is, the system allows Asian Americans to, again, become wedges into stealing black wealth where white people can't steal. They know that we're not finna buy black beauty supplies from white people. They know that. So they allow them to become the wedge in the gap from black generational wealth. And they let them make their wealth off of us. Think about why Patrick Ta took what he took and stole what he stole is because the system allows it. He's a privileged Asian male. Why wouldn't he do that? Esther should have been smart. Esther should have had her business model ready. Like, people of color is not synonymous, and it would not surprise me if Asian communities did not know how much they rely on the black dollar, the black pocket, and the black wealth to create Asian wealth. That's the only reason why y'all have wealth is mostly because of the black dollar. All I'm saying is, Ryan Coogler wrote a movie showing the Chow family selling out the black people based on their own experience and their own wants and their own hurt by centering themselves. And now a Chow family is on trial in South Carolina for chasing and shooting and executing a young 14-year-old boy because he was black. The sheriff, the police, and everybody in that damn courtroom knows that he ain't steal nothing. And the owner, Chow, was trying to use stand your ground law when it first started. Y'all thought racism was going to shield you. Y'all thought being surveillance enforcers was going to shield you. Y'all forget, you're not white. And that's just a message to my Asian American friends. Have a great day.
The entire black community in America is deeply in pain. You have heard it in their voices. You have listened as they spoke through tears. You've witnessed their anguish. This pain is profound and it is real. The death of this young black American has reopened old wounds. It has brought back memories of what happened before. Memories that many black Americans hoped it would never resurface. This tragedy serves as the painful reminder of the countless young black Americans who have faced the same devastating outcome. Each death echoes the last. Each injustice compounds the trauma of those before it. What makes this unbearable is the cycle. Black men are dying. Black women are dying. Black Americans are being destroyed. And then the society moves as if nothing happened. Life continues. The news cycle shifts. People forget. But the black American community cannot forget. They carry the weight of every loss, every unanswered question, every denied justice. Many black Americans are exhausted by this pattern. They are tired of fighting the same battle over and over again. Now, there is a claim that was raised by many people on social media that Asian man was trying to defend himself. Let us examine that claim. This narrative simply does not hold up to basic logic or evidence. If someone is truly defending themselves from an attack, they don't shoot someone in the back. When you are defending yourself against an aggressor, someone trying to attack you or shoot at you, that person is facing at you. You can see them in their face. You respond to what is in front of you. You don't shoot at someone who is facing the same direction as you and then come claiming self-defense. That is not right. That is not how self-defense works. This young black boy was shot in his back. He was running away. He was not a threat in the way the narrative claims. The facts contradict the defense entirely. This incident exposes something far deeper than one person's actions. It reveals a pervasive mindset that exists across America, among Asian Americans, white Americans, Latinos, African immigrants. There is a dangerous stereotype. When a crime occurs in a neighborhood, the assumption is automatic. Look for a black person around. Accuse a black person. This is the default response. This is not justice. This is racial profiling dressed up as law enforcement. This is prejudgment masquerading as investigation. This level of stereotyping must stop. And it has gone on far too long. We have listened to many black Americans speak about this tragedy. Nearly all of them are devastated. This wasn't just another case or another statistic. This was a young black boy with potential. He had a bright future ahead of him. He had people who loved him, people who believed in him, who saw his promise. His family was looking forward to watching him grow, achieve, and contribute to the world. But one moment changed everything. One man, driven by racist assumptions and prejudgment, destroyed all of that. In a single act, he erased a future. He broke a family. He wounded a community. And the system that is supposed to protect people has failed. The evidence was there. The signs were unmistakable. But because of what is always associated with black people in America, this young black boy was denied justice. The prejudice that clouds the minds of law enforcement and the courts meant that the fact didn't matter as much as stereotype. This is a moment for black Americans to rise up and claim their power. It is time for all of you, every black American, to come out and speak for unity. Not division, not despair, unity. A unified voice demanding accountability and change. It is time for all of you to come out and speak against racial profiling. This practice must end. Police officers cannot be judged and executioner based on skin color and stereotypes. And that change begins with vocal, relentless demand from the community. It is time for all of you to demand proper justice. Real justice, not the kind that serves the powerful and crushes the powerless. Justice that is blind to race, that examines evidence fairly, that holds everyone accountable regardless of their uniform, or their position, or their background, or their race. The symptoms of systemic racism are everywhere. The symptoms of systemic racism are everywhere. The disease is evident. The cure requires courage, unity, and action. Black Americans must lead the fight. Your voices matter. Your presence matters. Your demand for justice matters. This young man's life mattered, and his memory demands that you do better. You must be better. The time for change is now. I ain't here judging the decision of the court system, but I'm here saying that from my own opinions, from my own views, I'm not here judging the decisions of the court system, but I'm here speaking as a person, depending on what I've seen, the signs, the symptoms, the video footage that were captured during that incident. I can personally say that the young black man was not given justice. And this add to other incidents that I have memorized that happened in the past. And that is why I am saying everything that I'm saying. I want y'all black Americans, y'all brothers and sisters, to tell me what you think down there in the comment section. And I want y'all to remember that you've got an African brother here having deep love for y'all, love for your community, love for your resilience, love for your resilience, love for your talents. Long live black Americans. Mr. TA, signing off.